pull that out, table that, and ask for County Attorney May to review the supervisor's role in the approval of the manure management plans?
I don't know. That sounds too heavy-handed. Honestly, I don't. Well, let me just explain, if I might. That it's about the process, and it is when the auditor receives one, you could maybe give me the call. We have one coming. These are the folks, and I'm happy to call them individually unless you want them to come in. I don't want to send out a note to our agricultural community who are struggling with a lot of things, including inability to get into their fields, to say that, oh, and here comes government. It is educational, it is informative, and that's the way that I want to ask them to come in. So I guess it depends upon how we, how do we set this aside? How do we express that it's purely informational, at least at this point, without feeling like they have something else to be concerned about or fearful of, or so that's my caution. I'm not necessarily saying this is the farm. It's just interesting that they have most of these come through with no change, and even if you had questions, you wouldn't know what it was. There's no change. They've actually done some things. They might be good folks, but I'm happy to reach out to them. We could approve this, and all we do is, approve. And maybe we can invite them to come at another time. I don't want to slow this down.
Consent items, which I think are normally considered routine, and I think looking at the form itself, it says they must provide a copy of the form to the county, but it doesn't go into what our role is. I have met with the DNR, and I believe this process is basically there's a fee for their manure management plan that they pay to the DNR, and they're required to copy the DNR, copy the county, but I don't know what the process is, to be honest with you, because in the 2.5 years or so that I've been on the board, we haven't had a manure management plan issue. We have had some master matrix issues, and I've met with I went out and met with the DNR in Manchester, and I met with Shirley Helmrichs from Delaware County, who's a regional expert on in these areas. My guess, I think I concur with Supervisor Wickham that this isn't. This is more of a read-in for us, and if the DNR has issues with it, they would be taking it up with them. But if you want, the only way not to approve this today would be to pull that one out, table it, and ask County Attorney May to review and let us know what our role is. So I can't think of any other way. Yeah,
I would defer to Supervisor McDonough how she wants to proceed. She was the one that initiated it. I'm here for the ride right now. I'm not sure what your intent was. So whatever direction you like, I would be.
Let's ask the auditor. How do these come into your office? When do you become aware that you need one? Maybe we should, maybe we need a work session on manure management plans. And then I just don't want to highlight these individuals. I think that's unfair to them. And they're expecting it to be as routine as it was last year when they filed their report. And maybe we can then have, our county attorney give us the answers to the questions we posed, and we can, maybe ask some citizens who file these if they want to participate to educate us, so that it truly is educational.
I'm comfortable with that. How would you like to proceed today on these items? they're on our agenda in front of us.
I'm gonna move to approve.
I will second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the consent items. Any further discussion?
Thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried. And again, just following up, I would then ask, County Attorney May, then not on a specific case basis, but in general, if you could review what our role would be, we would appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Support that.
We do have some rights under, the right to have a public hearing under a master matrix, type issue, which would be a, you know, or a CAFO is involved, a large number of livestock concentrated in one area, so.
And we have a colleague in Delaware County who's phenomenal at this. One of the supervisors there, Shirley, she's up on all this. Do you have interest as other supervisors in having a work session, or do you want me just to proceed and just become aware as I can? Do you have interest in having that?
I'm open to a work session on it.
As am I, and then I think we would need, you know, I think it would be in our best interest then to see if we can get the DNR, local DNR individual. I have the contacts from when I went out and met with them, and maybe invite Shirley. Maybe we could tie that in. We're trying to put together our annual county engineer review, then that would save, you know, them from having extra expense. Maybe we could tie that together.
I'd prefer not. I would prefer to focus our relationship on the relationship we have related to engineering and not other items, but that's,
Okay.
that's a nuance.
Yeah, I was more
So,
thinking about saving some tax dollars, so.
Why don't we have our work session on this issue maybe in Dyersville? That's a lot closer for Shirley to come if she wants to be one of our speakers, and just in terms of general education, but we could probably find some space there.
Right.
So, and that would put it out further enough that any folks, like this farm is actually filed in Hopkinton, so it would be far closer for them to come and be in Dyersville.
And I would also say I would want the Dubuque County Farm Bureau, Craig Recker and Jeff Pape and those folks invited, and the Iowa Community Action Group from Iowa City to be invited. Now, we have had, in 2017, we had a meeting, and Jeff Pape did show up, but the other group didn't, and that's fine. I just want to make sure that we, if we're going to have a work session, that we put all the folks in the room. So, okay, all right. Next item on the agenda is under item number 4, public hearings. I don't believe we have any proof of publications. So we go to item B. We have the notice of public hearing amendment to chapter 22, rural address system, Dubuque County Code of Ordinances. Does anybody have anything
That's
on this?
April 22nd at 5:30.
Can I ask you a question about this? So as I read through this addendum, and it says to be named, and it's a road formerly known as Shailene Drive, and then it's starting point, ending point. What is it proposed to be renamed as?
Thunder Ridge Drive,
So it's,
or Thunder Ridge Court.
so as I read this, that means Shailene Drive is proposed to be changed to read Thunder Ridge Court. So we're changing the next one from Reeder Road to Reeder Drive. I understand we're going to set this for public hearing, just.
Process 14, which requires for 911 rather than
we get petitions from folks about this? Okay, so for mapping purposes.
I will make a comment. I do like the originality of some of our names still. You know, Lover's Lane, Roller Coaster Road. You know,
There was
Paradise
an entire,
Valley. I mean, I like it.
There was an entire committee
Just disbanded that committee.
that et cetera, but if it was there.
And for the record, I'm just, you know, generalizing about Lover's Lane and Roller Coaster Road. I've never tried both of those out at all.
Roller Coaster Road is apt.
So we need a motion to approve the notice of public hearing? I'll make
I
that
will
motion.
second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the notice of public hearing. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried. All right, next item on the agenda is item 5, proof of publication for procurement procedures.
Make a motion to approve the proof of publication.
Okay,
Second.
motion made and seconded to approve the proofs of publication. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, carried. That was 5A. Now 5B, receipt of bids for the HMA resurfacing and culvert replacements on St. Catherine Road, Ridgeview Drive, Bankston Park Road, Park Hollow Road, and Pilot Grove Road. Project LOST-2001-73-31. So we have bids to tabulate. Do we know how many we've received? Okay. Are these being bid as one project?
One project, yes. Yep.
Wonder who did it.
Well, sometimes the quantity that you generate from several roads like that is enough to possibly bring in some interest outside. but
Okay.
That apparently didn't today. Okay, so we have one bid from River City Paving in the amount of $4,106,944.67. $4,106,944.67. This project has a completion date of November 8th, 2019.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to receive and file and refer to the county engineer for his recommendation.
Second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded to receive and file and refer to the county engineer for his recommendation. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried 3-0. Thank you. All right. We have item 5C, receipt of quotes. And this is for one current model year heavy-duty tandem axle truck for the Dubuque County Secondary Roads Department. Item 5C.
Okay, and this will be for the truck chassis alone, and then the box and snow equipment will come after this. This bid is from Truck Country, and it looks like they're bidding two separate vehicles. The first one is a Western Star 2020 4700 SF. Okay, so their initial bid is $116,578, and they're giving us $25,000 towards our trade. So the final quote is $91,578. $91,578. The second vehicle they're bidding is a Freightliner 114 SD. The initial quote is $111,302. They're giving us $25,000 towards the trade. And the final quote is $86,302, $86,302. Okay, this bid is from Thompson Truck and Trailers. They are bidding an International HV 513 SFA. The initial quote is $114,400, and they're giving us a $19,000 towards the trade, making the final quote $95,400. $95,400. And the next bid is from Twin Bridges Truck City. They are bidding a Mack Granite 64 FR. Their initial price is $120,000. They're giving us $20,000 trade-in. Final quote, $100,000. $100,000. And final bid from Don's Truck Sales and HTC. They are bidding a Freightliner 114 SD. Initial price $111,791, and they're giving us $22,000 trade. Final quote $89,791. $89,791. And that's the final one.
Does that complete the quotes? Motion to receive and file and refer to the county engineer.
I will second that.
Motion made and seconded to receive and file the quotes and refer to the county engineer. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Carried. All right. 5D, item 5D on the agenda is receipt of quotes, snow equipment to be installed on one tandem axle truck for the Dubuque County Secondary Roads Department.
The first bid is from Tri-State Truck Equipment. Looks like the price for snow equipment, which is the box, and the snow plows, is $80,686. $80,686. They do have some options that we can consider. I could read those out here. Option one is for a high lift tailgate installed for $1,500. Option two is a pre-wet system for $3,000. And option three is air controls for the hitch, $800.
And Anthony, did we ask for those options to be on there?
We asked for two of them, yes.
Okay.
Yep, the third one he threw in there, I'm not aware that we asked for it.
Okay.
And the final bid is from Henderson Products. Their bid is for $86,069. $86,069. Option one is $1,575. And option two is $3,070. And there is no option three on this one.
Okay.
That was final bids. I'll make a motion to receive and file and refer to the county engineer for his recommendation.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to refer to the county engineer for his recommendation. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried 3-0. All right. Next up is 5E, request for proposals. Supply and deliver maintenance rock for the Dubuque County Secondary Road Department.
Okay.
Anything on this, Anthony?
Just our general rock resurfacing program that we do every year. We have 8 different districts across the county, around the county that we bid out for approximately 4,000 tons of road stone for each of those territories. And this would have a specified completion date of July 25th, 2019.
Okay. We'll be looking for a motion to approve the request for proposals.
I'll make the motion.
And I will second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the request for proposals. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried. All right, item 5F is a notice to bidders regarding HMA resurfacing with millings and seal coat project on Riverside Drive and Mel's Court project LOST-02-73-31. That's 5F. Okay. It's a notice to bidders. So I guess we're looking for approval of the notice to bidders.
I will make the motion to approve the notice of bidders for April 27th at 4 o'clock.
Second?
Okay. Motion's made and seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, carried 3-0. 5G, recommendation from the county sheriff regarding a 2019 Ford Police Interceptor Utility 4-door, all-wheel drive police vehicle. Do we have anybody here to speak on this? Sheriff Kennedy or Chief Deputy Reniker? Apparently not. So we will.
Looks like the low bids from Finn and Ford. What they're making.
It looks as though he's just trying to tie up a loose end with something that was approved before.
I'll read this. It's addressed to Chairperson Baker from Sheriff Joe Kennedy. On August 17, 2018, the Dubuque County Sheriff's Office sent out for bids on a new 2019 Ford Police Interceptor Utility 4-door all-wheel drive police vehicle. The low bid in that evolution, which included trade-in value, was Finn and Ford. The price quoted with trade was $21,759.25. At some point, our recommendation for approval of this bid was overlooked, for which we apologize. We are requesting you approve this vehicle for purchase, as it is now on the Finn and lot, awaiting pickup. This is a scheduled replacement vehicle and is not part of the take-home patrol vehicle program, which is being paid for from forfeiture funds. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Sheriff Kennedy. Okay. I think we're looking for action on the action on the recommendation from the county sheriff.
I asked Stella Rundy if she has any questions about this. Is it? You don't have any questions? It's approved and. Yeah, they have.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase.
Second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded to approve the purchase and the recommendation from the county sheriff. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried 3-0. Item number 6, approval of plats. We have interim zoning administrator Tammy Henry. Tammy, I'll turn it over to you. Good morning.
Good morning.
There was a previous Board of Adjustment case done on this, 010119, and that was to request a variance to the frontage of each lot, which was approved on January 3rd, 2019. The survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 has a total of 3.46 acres surveyed, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 2 is a total of 1.58 acres surveyed, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 1 and Lot 2 will both use an existing residential accesses off of South Mound Road. There were no additions or corrections required for this plat, and the mortgage holder's acknowledgements are signed and attached. And some of the signatures were over 60 days old, and they included the city of Sherrill, which was December 11th of 2018. This plat was reviewed by myself as Plat's officer and has all the required signatures. I respectfully recommend approval. So what's happened here is, I'll show you the aerial here. So they're taking this piece of land here, which they already use as their property. This is father and son situation. And what they're doing for estate purposes, they're taking this little piece here and attaching it to this lot 2. So Doug Jr. already uses that. Doug Sr. has this piece, and his parents are getting elderly, and so they just wanted to make sure that the property was divided where it was supposed to be. And the reason that we needed to do the variance to the front is the frontage that was existing there already never met the plat requirements to begin with. So we had to go and get a variance to make sure that when we changed this over, that they were approved to be able to create this plat.
Okay. Any questions for Tammy?
You may have said this already, I might have missed it. And the Board of Adjustments already approved that variance?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
Yes.
No, I'll make a motion to approve the plat as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the plat. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried 3-0. All right. Tammy, is there any signatures needed? No, we can do that real quick. Let's take a
Make a motion to
brief
recess
recess.
for 5 minutes?
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Good job on the light.
It's always like, okay, what do you hit next?
Try to make government as efficient as possible. Today.
Need to sign,
Is this okay doing it?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why you had to take a recess. You're just delaying everything. Where's the 8,
Hi, Bill.
roll, 19,076.
You need to change this.
Signing it now.
Okay.
There. Three copies of the resolution here?
No, I do not. Angie sent them down, so I have to apologize
do I
for
need
not
to sign
knowing
off?
why.
Yeah, no, you just signed there.
She usually has me sign, sometimes there's
Yeah,
2 or 3
yeah.
copies.
Well, that way there's an original to be, I understand.
That she sends everything to Mary all the time. What they do, and
You say 5 minutes?
But I'm waiting for.
No, I'm gonna run to the.
Probably for the. You don't have another one, do you? You don't have another bid coming up for next week? Yeah. I remember one painful day. It was City of Aurora. One day, overnight Federal Express failed us. We had the deal. That was for a couple $100,000. That hurt. They rejected us. We had the deal. We were low bid. Probably not. We didn't, at least as a small company. I think we yelled at them.
I mean, they guarantee delivery by 11. So it's supposed to be here at 9.
Anthony, do you know if Delaware County is requesting a joint meeting, or is it just?
They did bring it up to me.
Okay, so they mentioned it. All right. Okay. Wait. Do that. Some good pie. They have real good pie. There's going to be a new bus garage there. Yeah, the RTA. We're putting up a bus garage. We're very excited. Anthony designed it for us, didn't you? The site plan, at least. So I guess I assume that's just. Yeah, I know. We only had 2 meetings today scheduled, and we started both of them late, but one was only 1 minute late. It's hard. It's hard. Shut people off. In private, our meetings are always late, but I think you can do that. That's kind of your own time. But when you have 15 or 20 people.
All right, sorry.
Okay, we've been pretty good. Okay.
All right, reconvening the Dubuque County Board of Supervisors meeting. We are at item number 7 on the agenda, which are action items. So the first resolution, item A, appointment of deputies, assistants, and clerks.
I will make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded, and I'll just ask our HR Director, Dawn Sherman, any issues or any discussion points?
I recommend approval for all these appointments.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion, please say.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
I see that all of the conservation aides are men, is that correct? Okay, so just noting, I'm noting that. I'm noting that, and I hope you are too, that we're watching to be sure that we're looking at you know, gender equity and things like that. And just looking at pay scale, you know, for jobs that people do, I think that's just interesting to note too. What we pay for conservation aid and what we're paying for food service at Sunnycrest or part-time CNA. Just noting that I'm looking at that, and I think there's some noteworthy information there.
Right. We actually raised the pay of these conservation aides at the request of Brian Preston, I think, in 2017. So.
Many of our Sunnycrest workers in CNA and food service are the lowest paid in the county. Is that fair?
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve the resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried 3-0. Okay, item 7B, it's the resolution to approve the temporary delayed travel restrictions of county roads on June 29th, 2019 for the annual Run for Troops race. Anthony, you have anything on this?
Yeah.
And so they're going from the Heritage Pond to Graff and back? Yes. That's not 26 miles, is it?
I think they're
Must loop or something.
if I remember right,
Because that's gotta be only like,
they're doing different races, different distances. This time, for the first time,
okay.
they're doing I think a 5K, and then they're doing a marathon, and maybe even a half marathon. So I'm not sure about, you know, I think there'll be different terminus points for those that are in, yeah.
Good.
I saw that, I think it was on Facebook. I got something from Mike Hodge, I think.
Town engineer, you ran in that last year, was it?
Yes, I'm running this.
Good.
Good.
And
Is that correct that they're doing different distances?
They're doing a half marathon.
Okay,
I'm not running a marathon.
okay.
Your team's running the whole thing. My wife ran the marathon a couple of years ago.
And
That was her support, and that was tiring.
Yeah. Any concerns with this resolution, Anthony?
No, signs, making people aware of what's going on out there, so
Okay.
they do a good job.
Motion to approve the resolution?
And I will second that.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried 3-0. Okay, item 7C, resolution to approve the necessary contract documents with Top Grade Excavating Incorporated for the HMA resurfacing culvert replacements and grading project on Hales Mill Road and Asbury Road, project LFM-P2001-7X-31. Anthony, anything on this?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Carried. All right. 7D. We got the resolution to approve the plans and specifications for the HMA resurfacing with Millings and Seal Coat project on Riverside Drive and Mel's Court project LOST-2002-73-31.
Okay, what this involves is resurfacing Riverside Drive. It's going to be an asphalt resurfacing project from Peru Road down to the tracks. And then after the tracks going north, it'll be a basically an asphalt leveling course that we're going to put on, and then a seal coat course on top of that. And then there's a small subdivision street called Mills Court, not too far from there. We're going to couple that with this project as well.
Okay, and just for the record, I will, I was contacted, I think, in 2017 by Mr. Koch. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but he brought the condition of the road to my attention, and it was in need of repair. Lots of potholes, shoulder crumbling, et cetera. And I'm glad that we're able to get this road repaired. It's very much needed. We did have some challenges, if I'm not mistaken, because of the tracks and the drainage. Are we able to address that at all, or?
We're gonna try to do a little bit of ditching, north of the tracks there to just try to get kind of almost keep more of like a retainage area, a retention area for the drainage off the road. We are trying to be real careful how much we raise the road north of the tracks, because that's gonna shed water more so into people's driveways. So it's kind of a limited scope what we're doing up there. It's so flat, it's just not many areas for that water to go.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think we're trying to address this as best we can at this point without major overhaul up there.
Right, and the road is lower than the tracks.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay.
Yep.
All right. What's your pleasure on the resolution?
Motion to approve the resolution?
And I will second that.
Okay. Motion made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried. All right. 7E. Resolution approving contract with Raycom for project management of the civil work at emergency radio system tower sites. Do we have anybody to speak on this? Not. I think we had a discussion at our last meeting on this.
And so it's going to be, looks like billed hourly, and then
With a
not to exceed 141,960. Is that the plan? Okay.
I think the resolution.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the resolution
Second?
and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. All right. We have, the next item is 7F. Resolution approving fraud reporting policy, 7F.
We are receiving a HSEMD grant, and part of the federal regulations, there are various policies that you have to have. And a new one that we did not have was this fraud reporting. So they sent a sample policy, which we have used, and so it's just, they're waiting for us to approve it.
What's the grant for?
I believe it's a buyout property.
It's part of our flood relief, flood
The board
on Paradise.
approved buying out of some property, I think near,
Paradise Valley. That
I'm not certain.
okay.
It was approved previously, and there are matches, et cetera, so we're just in the process. We've not been awarded it yet. We have to go through various hoops to get points to see if we are awarded, and one of the things we would get points for would be having this policy.
Okay.
Motion to approve the resolution.
There's a motion to approve the resolution. Is
And
there a second?
I will second it.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, carried 3-0. Next up is 7G, which is the approving contract with Story Kenworthy for furnishings at the West Campus.
I had one question on this, but, so I saw that this came off the state bid. Did we give any local contractors the opportunity to bid on that? And,
Okay,
I
just
don't
the
know how far
process.
back in the process to go.
I've not had the chance to meet you.
can you introduce yourself
Karen.
for the record also,
Sure.
Karen?
I'm Karen Greiner with FEH Design.
Nice to meet you, Karen.
Nice to meet you. Kind of went back through my timeline to prepare for this, and we had looked at different methods in August. There were conversations back and forth on whether to bid this or how to go about procuring this furniture. I guess to answer directly the question, the decision was made over a couple months' time to select Hahn and purchase it through the state contract. And Story Kenworthy is the only furniture dealer that can purchase off a state contract. And I just verified that on Friday with the Hahn manufacturer's rep. So I know there were other suggestions made, and they're not able to purchase. Our local Hahn dealer is not able to purchase on the state contract, is what I'm told.
For someone who's new, can you explain why it's significant that you can purchase off the state contract? What does that mean?
Sure. We had talked last fall about different purchasing contracts like U.S. Communities, National IPA, or the state contract, and it means that an entity has already, I think in terms of which one? U.S. Communities, for instance, the furniture has already been like pre-bid ahead of time, so that government entities or people who are part of the buying group, depending on what kind of contract we're talking about, already have the best possible price on the furniture.
Okay. So by staying on the state contract, we were getting the best possible price on products we knew we were interested in.
Yes.
And we determined Hahn because of their quality. Is that why we were looking at that?
The county already has some Hahn pieces of furniture, so one positive to that, I guess, would be that you can add 2 pieces and inventory and things would be simplified. They've had success with Hahn. I believe they do some work with Story Kenworthy right now. But we did kind of months ago start the process looking at other manufacturers and should we bid this or how should we go about doing this. So it was kind of over several months it came to this decision.
So we might be able to use some of the things we currently have because they're Hahn. That's at least a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Finishes may be similar.
Right.
Okay.
There was also early on in this process some discussion about repainting some current. Is that happening as well, or is everybody getting
some current
filing cabinets, that type of thing?
I believe now after maybe Denise walked through and determined, like some of the file cabinets were broken, and we were going to repaint and reuse some, but now we have figured in new for, I believe, the health department and the zoning department. But Anthony, your storage room will still have all the existing like flat files and different shelving and stuff.
I just remember early on there was discussion that if there was a perfectly good filing cabinet that didn't need to be replaced, that we would get those repainted to save the cost of purchasing new, but that's not happening now.
That was the original plan, and then at some point I was directed to include new for zoning and health, although their number has been reduced. I believe they are either been purging or digitizing. I don't know. Denise, can you speak to that at all? Okay.
Yeah, they're going to
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know zoning had quite a few cabinet files scheduled, and then I believe they're going to do a lot of digitizing that's going to reduce that.
Okay.
Don't know what there is out there. From having visited those offices, I don't know what in there is functional.
We have some large flat files that we're going to try to still use that are still in good shape.
Okay.
So anything that's that still operates well, that doesn't get stuck and has good handles, we're going to try to still reuse that stuff.
I mean, it's a big ticket price.
And that's one of my questions is that, you know, I know Han's an Iowa company, that's great. I know the person we're purchasing through is also out of Des Moines, that's good. But there are other local Hahn dealers. And I don't know, they might not be able to beat the state price. That's typically the advantage of going off the state price. But did we give them any notice at all? Just to give a local consideration.
They did call me, and then I had verified that last fall, and then again on Friday I wanted to make sure, like, how did we make this decision? I was trying to remind myself, and so I did verify that the local Hahn dealer is not able to buy on state contract, and I was told that there wouldn't be any way to beat the pricing that is available to you on
And that
state.
communication was with the local company or with whom?
With Han Industries.
With Han Industries.
Yes.
So-
I'd gone on the website on Friday after Anthony called me, and only Story Kenworthy came up, and I thought, well, that, you know, I need to verify that. So then I made a phone call, and as being the government servicing dealer, that was there, and they're out of Cedar Rapids. I think maybe their main place is Des Moines, but I'm dealing with someone in Cedar Rapids. So.
Yeah, they probably have offices throughout Iowa. Okay.
So I had a call on this as well, and one of the things was, you know, with the state contract, you know, watch out for change orders, add-ons, installation prices, and in our discussion on Friday that we had, the price of $135,631.17 includes the amount for installation, and that's set in stone. Is that correct?
Yes, I have it right here, and she actually sent me a revised quote this morning because I asked her to, it's just like $300 less or something, but to adjust a desk that I was worried the door was gonna hit the desk was a little too long, that type of thing. So I do have a new amount of, make sure I got the right date. $135,345.22.
If we're taking action, what's that?
That's be done as a change order.
Even though it's less? Yeah.
We can deal with that.
Oh, okay, just stay with the number,
Okay. All right. And then the only other question I have, you know, I guess found it interesting that we have a local Han dealer who can't access state pricing, but who made the decision that we would go with Han Furniture? Was it one person? Was it a committee? Was it?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I have some emails back and forth with Chris Soder, and I have my response back saying, okay, then that's what we will do. It must have been in response to a phone call, so I don't have that in writing, but
I just wanted.
It was around October, and like middle of October,
Okay.
that decision was made.
Okay. Chris
I
is
don't
here.
know.
Chris, was this your recommendation to go with Han Furniture?
The Han pricing came in. And I think that's the main reason.
Okay. And do we have documents showing that? Did we do a request for quotes?
Yeah.
We didn't have to because it's already
Okay.
the least expensive office furniture on the contract.
Okay.
And they're on U.S. Community. There's 3 other buyers groups that contract.
Okay. So if another dealer or business person were to contact me, then we could assure them that the due diligence was done. This was the best price for similar equipment. Okay.
Although we never gave, the local company never had a chance to bid on it. That would still be true, even they never were given that opportunity. Most likely they wouldn't be able to beat the prices.
That's what I'm told.
That's
Yeah, that would be.
generally how it works. It's usually how big companies crush small local companies, is by their purchasing power and their size. I would like at least the opportunity, and I don't know, maybe if we've done it, to have a local company bid on it, or at least deny, say we're not interested in bidding, or we can't bid. That's what I would like. And so maybe, I don't know what the timing of this, I would be interested in possibly tabling this. Sounds like we have a few questions just to approve, one, the process of Han, I think was Supervisor Baker's question, and 2, did the local dealer have the opportunity to bid on it, or at least confirm they're not interested in bidding.
Just, I would have a question about whether that, those are certainly valid points that Jay's making. Where are we for time in getting these things ordered? I know that in some of our other things happening as we put the touches on the building, we're putting our architectural and our management team kind of in a bad spot, you know, in terms of time. And then also I think it's good to look ahead. Are there other furnishings? Is there anything else that comes into the office scape of how we're gonna finish out that building that we should be looking at locally? Blinds, I mean, just the anything that you would know far better than I.
Yeah, to answer some of that, I guess, initially in August, when we were discussing what method to go about doing this, that would have been the time to write the bid package and put it out for bid, at least, you know, in the fall, I would say, because they're, and I was reviewing different, you know, whether it would be Hayworth, Herman Miller, Steelcase. I was looking at evaluating apples to apples, like what those major manufacturers offered and what we should put in the bid package. And then we went down this path of saying, well, we should buy it on contract. That way we get the best price. And then it was determined Hahn was already in some of the buildings, and that Story Kenworthy, you know, that combination of Hahn and the contract purchasing led us to Story Kenworthy. And so like, we've gone through months of work to get to this point. The delivery timing is kind of a moving target a little bit in terms of we're trying to do site work. The building will be done, as I understand it, before some of the site work, and so as far as moving people and not having a sidewalk to, you know, get furniture delivered. I've had that nightmare before, and parking and whatnot, and I don't know if everybody's moving at the same time. So our target date, I don't know if that's been set in stone. As far as other items, the window treatments were bid as part of the construction project. We have a mural that's part of the construction project that's on an acoustical panel, but there could be some artwork that will be needed. There's some steel shelving and other equipment for the shop that will be needed and is maybe in the works. I'm not a part of that.
I don't think we have anything in the works for the shelving, but the hoist have been approved, and that was a part of the, there's a certain amount of money set aside in the bond amount for the furnishings of this, the hoist, and the shelving in the shop area.
Yeah, we were prepared to order this any day, I would say, so that we can get it here June, if that ends up being.
I don't think we're going to be there in June.
June, okay.
Early is July, but it's going to be probably late July.
Well, let me ask you this. If we start over or we tweak this contract that you've spent months working on, is there a way to get items inside that building when we want to be open? How likely is that to happen?
I guess it depends if the items are available in stock, what the manufacturer lead times are. You know, because if we put it out for bid, it would, you know, if we're going to look at other products, I don't.
Well, do you have time to do this?
We write the checks, so so far it's been yes. They've been willing to bill us for every single hour they've ever worked.
Yeah. But at some point, we're going to hit a time where, as much as our management team wants to please us, they can't. And I'm trying to be sensitive to, are we there?
Sure.
I mean, this was an August of last year decision. Some things we're going to have to own because that's the process.
My only request is to verify with the local company, do they want to bid on this? Yes or no? And if it's yes, give them the opportunity. If it's no, we're done. But, you know, I'm not questioning Hahn and their furniture. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that decision. Those seem good with me. I just know there's one local Hahn representative in Dubuque, certainly not you know, large, but did we give them the opportunity to bid? And that's my only request.
If we tabled for 2 weeks, you could determine whether or not they could even participate or they could meet any of these prices?
I guess probably with a phone call, although I've been told by Han that the best pricing is through the state contract through Story Kenworthy. But I suppose with a phone call to Welter to ask them if they can buy on state contract, you know, ask the question again, but to different people, you know, would I get a different
Does
answer?
Walter purchase new Han equipment? They do.
I believe they do.
Yeah, the county has things, or 2 offices here from Welter.
Another savings I would probably say is that I did not have to put a lot of time into this because Story Kenworthy did the legwork, whereas if I put together a bid package, then that's,
There's an hourly charge?
yeah. Well, there's already an agreement with the county for this project. It's just that my time has been pretty minimal because the dealership has done all the legwork, so.
Well, I have an idea. Could one of the Board of Supervisors call Walter to see if they'd be interested in being charged by,
I don't think that'd be appropriate for me to do
FEH?
that or anyone. I would recommend that's why we have FEH and others to manage these contract processes. And
I was
so,
just thinking we wouldn't get charged for that.
well, I wish we could go down that path, but we're probably about $1 million close to that, right? With FEH's
Well,
design
this
fees,
is-
so maybe they can.
Phone call is minimal, you know, and I may have already even asked that last fall. I really don't recall. I know I've talked to Welter about the project, and I don't remember. I had a lot of dealers call last fall, you know, the Piggott, Triplets, all kinds of dealers have been interested in it, but these decisions were made, so.
Well, I'll take action. I'll make a motion that we table this resolution so that we can contact Welter Storage to see if they're interested in bidding. This is my group here.
I'll second it.
Okay.
So, open for discussion again, being we have a motion to table. I would like this to be, that we table it to the next meeting. I think it's automatic, it does come up on the next meeting. But the idea isn't to push this out for months, or weeks or months, just till the next meeting.
Karen, I think you had a comment.
Yeah, I mean, I know they expressed interest in bidding on it. I guess the question is, would their pricing be comparable to the state contract?
That's what you'd find in the bid. When they gave you your numbers, you'd know that. So yes, that's my question. Or if they said, I'm not interested in bidding, that would tell you information too. But obviously if they said, yes, here's our bid, and we've got a bid document already in front of them, so they would know what the competition's already bidding, and so that would put us in a little bit of an awkward situation.
But these prices are already out there, right?
Yeah, well, they're in our document right here. So
But no, I mean, they're
public.
procured already, so they're publicly available. Han could get these numbers if they wanted to, or Welter, I should say.
Right.
Whether or not that
They're not approved by Han to buy on the state contract.
that might be the only.
Well, then, the only other question then is, we declared at some point that we wanted Han furniture. I mean, that limits, who can produce, manufacture, and bid on the project and install and do the installation, because that's all seems to be included. Are you wanting to open up, or are you simply wanting to ask the Han dealer?
My own request is just to ask the Han dealer if they're interested in bidding, and if so, provide us a bid, or provide FEH a bid. And you'll get to it pretty quick, because the numbers are out there. I mean, so I just wanted that last checkpoint, and that sounds like that's a piece we don't have confirmation on. You said they expressed interest. That's as far as we got. That would tell me that we should have said, can you provide us a bid? If not, can you provide us a statement that you're not bidding? And then we know that our only option is what we received. And that's probably where we'll end up. But I wanted to verify that.
Okay.
I'd hate to skip past the local provider.
And then before I call for the vote on this, I want to ask Chris, because before you got in here, Chris, I had brought up that in the early meetings, there was discussion on these file cabinets that were in working order, being repainted. I think they talked about like powder coat paint, and now I'm hearing that we went with all new. I would like you to go out and look and make sure that we need new versus.
I've got a guy on site, actually, Jason.
Yeah, because that was part of the early discussion, and if there's cost savings to be derived, I mean, some of these older file cabinets are made, you know, basically to last forever, and they're well built, and you know, so what I don't want is us to be disposing of perfectly good filing cabinets that could be touched up, painted to look nice, and you know, just because we have a new building doesn't mean we have to have all new file cabinets. They're file cabinets. You know, they're probably going to have you know, things, Post-it notes on them, and this and that, and calendars and magnetic things. You know, once they get in place. But that was discussed, and if there's cost savings involved, I want that to be looked at, please.
Yeah, not a problem. Like I said, Jason's out there, he's not out. Head out there too, and we'll just go through every one of them and see what.
Okay.
So Karen, my question is to you, this is your profession. Were you pleased with the contract terms? It's a big price for me to look at, but I need to defer to somebody who does this.
Yeah, I have done smaller office projects that have come in much higher. So I was impressed by the discounted price.
Okay. All right. The motion was made and seconded to table. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. It's tabled.
The only other question I really had is, do you have clear direction, Karen?
Well, I will make the phone call. I'm sure they're interested. I will make the phone call to find out if they can buy on state contract, or if they believe they can match or beat it, I guess. That would, I guess, be the obvious what we're looking for. And so then from there, if they say yes, I don't know then, I mean, this is a quote that a company put together. It's not a bid package, which is kind of different, you know, it's two different things.
But can we go back to Welter and say, hey, can you take these model numbers and give us a price on those?
Yeah, I can.
Make it pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give them this document, it's a
Yeah.
public document.
Yeah.
And then they'll tell you right away, and you never know, and where it gets clunky is if they say, well, these 10 items, yes, these 90, no, and so then we're caught in the middle of, you know, two vendors, but that's all, my only request is just to give them an opportunity.
And it's possible they could make up some on the installation. It's possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probable.
Yeah, we've done a great job on this project so far with a lot of good local providers. You know, Portson in the lead, local here in Dubuque County. That's really good. So I'd like to continue that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else on that? We're going to move then to, thanks.
I think we beat that one to death.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Anthony. Next item under action items number 7 is 7H, a resolution approving the agreement with Cell Site Solutions for civil work at emergency radio system tower sites. Looking for,
So I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
okay.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the resolution, all in, well, excuse me. I'll just read the amount into the record here. It's the low bid of $1,401,086.30. And then the alternate was $24,835.70. Okay, the motion was made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Carried. All right, that's it for the action items. Number 8, communications. It appears there are none. Item number 9A, open vacancies on boards and commissions. That's informational only. And we do have, let's see. Item 10 would be personnel requisitions. I'm not seeing any of those. 11 would be tabled and pending items. 12, public comments. At this time, anyone may address the board on matters of which are of concern to that person and which are not agenda items. Please go to the podium, state your name and home address. Make your comments. However, no formal action on your comments may be taken at this time because of the notice requirements. And I believe that Mr. Bill Stump would like to speak to us in public comments. So Bill, if you want, then please you can go to the podium and then name and address for the record.
You have handouts for us? I will take those. 4 of them, so you'll get the one. On top of it.
Thank you.
Bill, do you have an extra copy? Do you mind if I give it to the local press that's here? If you're getting out a written statement?
I'll run. Do you want it right now, Alicia, or is afterwards okay?
It's pretty scary when the parent. I think I know how.
Thank you.
My name is Bill. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning. My son Kyle is 29 years old and has an intellectual disability. He is employed in the community in integrated competitive employment, and for those of you that don't know what that is, that means he's in a real job making above minimum wage versus working in a workshop, which is where he was for about 5 years. So he is a taxpayer and he's a voter. Kyle's also a Medicaid recipient. He has been part of the Home and Community-Based Services Waiver for persons with intellectual disabilities since it began in 1992, so he was 2 years old. In fact, to the best of my knowledge, he may have been the first child to receive case management services from Dubuque County Case Management prior to the implementation of the ID waiver, which is short for what I just stated a minute ago. Case management was only provided to adults. As you are most likely aware, Medicaid in Iowa is now administered by for-profit companies. Kyle lost his longtime case manager in this process. He now has a case manager who we're getting to know, but does not live in Dubuque. She is employed by the managed care company. Although the governor and the director of the Department of Human Services disagree with me, managed care in Iowa has not worked for people that require long-term services and supports, including my son. A little over a week ago, one of the 3 MCOs announced that they will be leaving Iowa's Medicaid managed care program. This will affect over 400,000 people in Iowa. Although the state promises a smooth transition, I, along with many policymakers, do not agree this is possible. The 2 remaining MCOs most likely will not be able to absorb the increase in enrollment. This happened when AmeriHealth Caritas left the state in 2017. People who receive Medicaid and also Iowa taxpayers deserve better than this. We need stability in our Medicaid program. This has created unbelievable stress on people with disabilities and their families. My hope is that Iowa Medicaid and the governor will recognize the problems with including the long-term care services and supports population in managed care. It has come to my attention that the county supervisors in Polk County have said they would be open to providing case management services for people should Medicaid return the LTSS population to fee-for-service Medicaid. My purpose here today is to ask you simply to explore how that might look in Dubuque County. My understanding is that Dubuque County Case Management still has a framework in place. Many people with disabilities don't have an active guardian that is able to navigate the system. With true community-based case management, the case managers were able to assist these people in that regard in the past. I would encourage you to research this with the Polk County Board of Supervisors. There are 3 Polk County supervisors that I am aware have been vocal about this issue. They are Robert Brownell, Angela Connolly, and Matt McCoy. I have included their contact information in my note. Thank you again.
Bill, my understanding is Supervisors Brownell, Connolly, and McCoy, that this is a bipartisan group.
It is. I believe Mr. Brownell is a Republican. Angela Connolly is a Democrat. They met with our group at the Capitol a few weeks ago, which is partly why I'm aware of what their position has become.
Okay, and we're not able to take any action today.
Absolutely,
I know you understand that, but I would ask my counterparts, would we be maybe willing to set up a work session to discuss this and maybe include the organization that Bill belongs to?
I think we might actually have something already in place. It's called the Mental Health Disability Services Stakeholder Group. We're meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock at Mercy. And we have many, many vacancies on that commission. And at this point, they meet quarterly. And I've talked to Jody Jansen, our mental health person here in Dubuque County, about making that be, once again, meeting monthly. We need to probably recharge what it is that stakeholders committee is doing. I think you would be a great advocate to be part of that. So I don't know that we need to do a work session. Maybe we should be working with our own existing committee and letting you bring this before them to see if they have appetite to do this. The thought.
I'd like to learn more. So I'm generally unaware of this opportunity. So thank you for bringing it to my attention.
And that's what I'm here for today. I don't have suggestions. I know Polk County and Dubuque County, that might be like mixing apples and oranges, but at least they approached it. And this is something, they're just not going to be able to absorb that many people. They have to do something. When AmeriHealth Caritas left in 2017, people were put temporarily back into fee-for-service. So Kyle did maintain his case manager at that time from county case management. My understanding is they still have 3, and which is why I say the framework. And I also want you to hear a parent perspective. What we hear in the press and what we hear maybe from the governor is that everything's just going to be beautiful, and it's not. It can't be. The problem then was AmeriGroup and the other at the time, which was United Healthcare, couldn't absorb the increased amount, and it was a fraction of what the 400,000 are now. So I just think it's something that should be on our radar. In the event that something like that does happen, it's our goal of our group is we do not believe long-term care folks should be in that. They cannot be served in a traditional managed care model. They're too expensive to take care of. And you can't make money on them. And that's what the MCOs are there to do. So again, I thank you for your time. I'll like to get some more information on that if I can. Thank you. Any more questions? For me?
Thank you, Bill. I'll just comment. I'm planning on attending the stakeholders meeting tomorrow as well. As Supervisor Wickham has indicated, I'm interested in getting more information and possibly reaching out to our counterparts in Polk County and find out where they're at in the process, and make sure that this isn't this isn't another disaster in the making, and see if if there's anything we can do to help with this process. But and then notification wise, Dawn, I believe the stakeholders meeting has already been, it's a public meeting. Do we need to do anything more because there may be a quorum of supervisors there? I believe it's already a public meeting, so.
They've posted their agenda.
Yeah, okay.
Well, there's not necessarily a notice that there's gonna be a quorum of supervisors.
But we have that all the time, like with RTA. Yeah. I am attending the meeting. I got a copy of it. I saw it and I was interested and I plan on attending. I'm just, if we have to do anything because of that, then we need to do that. So,
And the reason you know there's a meeting is because we actually are trying to facilitate the publication of the meeting notices through the Board of Supervisors list. So, I mean, that's a whole nother point of discussion about how we do open meetings and how we get that accomplished as well, so.
well, I think that's great because if I don't know about a meeting, then I can't attend it. And then Bill, is your organization aware of this meeting and will they be a part of it? Yeah.
I might try it. My son, because
Okay.
so I'll try to see if
And I did ask Bill that you be added to the list. Why don't you, when you go through here and talk to one of our staff about making sure that you're on our email list?
I am.
You are, okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so now I believe a motion to,
Assuming there's no more public comments, that's.
oh, are there any other public comments? Anybody else have any other public comments? If you do so, please approach the podium. Hearing none.
Make a motion to recess for 5 minutes?
Okay, there's a motion to recess for 5 minutes. Is there a second? Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. 5-minute recess.
5-minute recess. Which doesn't sound as fun as it. Isn't as fun as it sounds.
I won't be here for the setting of this date for the 18th. I'm available the 16th and 17th, those nights.
Okay.
So
All right, and then, are there any blackout dates for you in case those don't work, if we have to go into the